Everybody, welcome. Your saltwater guide and Michael Folks with you again on another Tuesday. We got a really fun show for you today. I'm going to show you guys stuff that Michael hasn't even seen yet. Did you hear what I did on Saturday, Michael?
No.
Unbelievable. I went live from the hurricane bank on the Royal Star with Captain Roy Rose and Captain Tim Ekstrom.
Right on.
For 2 hours live. We got 11 jig strikes as they trolled around, and Roy explained to you how the whole thing works. It was no one ever done it before. First time ever on a long range boat live.
Congratulations. That's so cool.
Guess what? Right after that, guess who called Elliot and wants him to work for him?
I couldn't guess. Maybe Timmy.
Fisherman's Landing.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. They're like, whoopsie, something's going on over there with that Dave Hansen weirdo. We better get in front of this.
Yeah, we better get in touch with him.
We better find out what the holy heck's going on over there. How did Dave Hansen get to be more famous than us? It's pretty crazy. We got the great Pablo Fernandez joining us today. Also, Michael, it's going to be a great show. Pablo?
Hey, good morning, gentlemen.
All right, sir.
I see you didn't get your hair cut yet.
There you go.
Much better.
There you go. Now you're looking super sexy.
How's it going? Yeah.
We got all kinds of stuff going on.
I was loving it when Roy Rose was on there, man. That was so cool. I mean, just like, yeah. I mean, who doesn't want to watch that? That was insane. I was so amped. I'm like, how far are they? Let's go.
It's a hurricane.
Yeah, they're only 1,100 miles down the line, 600 miles off the beach. Just jump on your little Boston Whaler and get on down there.
Well, I think I'll just trailer it all the way down and then just run out a few miles to meet him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What a great podcast.
Oh, it was insane. Tim was so excited to be a part of it, and he was willing to take us up. Michael, I know you got to do some of this stuff, but it was very, very shielded. He took us in the Wheelhouse with him and Roy. It was magical.
Oh, it's a command center.
Yeah, it was pretty magical, and a light load, 15-day trip. He's seeing what's going on this morning. They're dealing with a little weather and stuff, but they may join us for the second half of today's show, which would be pretty magical.
That would be cool. It'd be very cool.
But we got some cool videos to show you what's going on. And then the history of sport fishing I've talked to so many different people, Michael, and how it's just changed their perspective on this whole fishing thing that's going on right now with all these different closures and the way that the world's changing and the way the Orange Man is controlling everything. And we're getting our rights back. And it all goes along with this phenomenal docuseries that you made.
Oh, thanks.
It does.
It's a pretty timely piece. When I look at what's going on around us and I look at what's in this film, I think, my God, it's just it was meant to be.
Yeah, it couldn't have hit at a better time. For you and I just wish a couple more people would take advantage of this phenomenal docuseries and download it. For goodness sakes, guys, I don't know what we got to do. Do Michael and I have to start coming to your house and sitting down with you and getting you to turn it on?
Hey, Lisa.
It's pretty amazing piece of history to see it and to touch it and to feel it. It's pretty amazing.
I like to feel it and touch it.
Right.
Elliot came up with
and I heard, here's something I'm out with this, but this is something I heard people are going, oh, why isn't it free? Well, I don't know what you can stream today that's free. I missed out on that. Where do you stream stuff free?
I think if you're in Congress, you can stream stuff for free.
Oh, okay. Because I heard
Friends
our producer Elliot was saying, people are saying, you should let them stream it for free. Where do you do that at? I want to go there. I want that subscription for free streaming. I think that would be rad because it's not happening on the planet I live on.
Elliot came up with a great idea. He said, listen, the first 48 hours are free. So right now, all I have to do is go to the historyofsportfishing.com, and it's free for the next 48 hours from the time you sign in. And then if you want to continue watching, then he's got it down to $5 a month. So
Look at
I don't know what else we can do. It's free for 48 hours and it's $5 a month after that. Less than
And
a
there
couple.
it is on the screen right there, gang. Grab that QR code. Take advantage of that. 48 hours for free. Come on.
Yes.
My goodness.
And
You
five,
got it.
5 years worth of work, 48 hours for free, and $5 for the rest of it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
I'm going to retire after this.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure you're getting ready to buy that island you've been looking at.
Yeah. We were over at Midway filming, and we'd been fishing the GTs all day out at a little remote island off Midway. And at the end of the day, we had this 50-pound tuna carcass that we'd been hanging off the back of the boat for chum, just to put the slick in the water. And we jumped in the water and said, "Oh, let's feed this tuna to the GTs at the end." So I just jumped, and all I had on was a pair of trunks and my fins, mask, and snorkel. And we were feeding the tuna, and the GTs were just mauling it. And all of a sudden, the whole bottom underneath the reef was of brown reef sharks. And all day those GTs had been headbutting those brown reef sharks. Won't come up when the GT are feeding because they'll attack them, they'll kill them. So all day they just kept they were down below, and I was in the water all day filming. I was watching them, no big deal. As soon as that tuna carcass went into a feeding frenzy, the brown just came up from underneath us, and we were surrounded in the middle of a feeding frenzy with brown reef sharks and GTs. And I mean, I had to hit one of them in the face with the camera. He was coming right at me, and I just hit him in the nose, got him to turn away. And we finally got back to the boat, and the skipper, the guy that I was filming with, is a retired fire chief. And so he knew that. And he said, he gets back in the boat, and he said, "Okay, which one of you guys are retired and which one of you guys are retarded?" So they actually use that clip in diving schools as to what not to do when you're around sharks.
Oh my gosh. If you guys haven't seen this stuff, it's all in part of the show that Michael used to have that was on Fox Sports West that Pablo, myself, and a lot of the guys that run sport boats and yachts today, we all grew up watching Inside Sport Fishing. It was a phenomenal show. We would wait patiently for the next episode, which was incredible. And how many, because there's a lot of people that don't know, how many episodes?
We did over 350 half-hour shows.
And that editing for that was incredible. When you told me how many hours of footage you would for a half-hour show, it's kind of ridiculous, huh?
It's crazy. But it's fun. I mean, it's all part of the process. I'm in the middle of it right now. We signed this deal with the studio. So we got a studio that's going to distribute the show now, the history, which is way cool. But they sent me 33 pages of technical specs. 33 pages. These are the, I don't know if you can see it, but this is those are just some of the specs. That's just one page. Pages. And there's 30 frames in a second of video. All right, 30 frames a second. And they micromanage this down to the frame. So you multiply, how many 30 times 60 times 60, and you're dealing with just astronomical amounts of technical data. It's all generated through AI, so there's no compromise. There's a click here, there's a frame missing here, or you're out of frame rate right here or something. So it's just a nightmare trying to get these things polished up. But a lot of editing, but it's coming. It's coming. Enough about my story. Pablo, talk to me.
No. Pablo, what's going on down in San Diego today?
What?
Pablo, what's up in San Diego today?
The weather looks pretty nice. Just a little bit of wind, not bad, and everything's clearing up. I just finished up working on my boat, so I solved some major problems, and now this other boat that I'm running a couple days a week, we're just tuning it up too, just getting everything dialed in, so we don't have any unforeseen, or I should say, we'll only have unforeseen issues, right? Because something always happens when you're out there, but at least we're just getting everything nice and high and tight. Like Al was teasing me yesterday. He's like, "Pablo, you're supposed to do that in January." I'm like, well, I still got downtime right now, and I'm still discovering things that need to be tended to. So I just made like a punch list and a wish list for my boat and for this Bertram. and we're just going through it, getting it all dialed in. And yeah, it looks like tomorrow should be pretty fun. If anybody has a chance to get out there, I might actually go out tomorrow. And then Thursday we got the CCA banquet. So yeah.
That punch list never stops, does it?
No, I mean, it's like it does. And even today, like, you know, when you walk away from it, that's when you can make your best list. Like, so this morning when I was having coffee at home and I was starting to write stuff down, I was thinking of so many things that I wouldn't even think of if I was at the boat. Because when I'm at the boat, I'm just addressing everything that's in front of me. And so it was nice to, you know, take a half an hour and just really, really put stuff down. And, you know, now I just got to follow my own list. And then the funny thing is, I thought I was good and I'm ready to go out the door. And then my wife, she gets up and she's having coffee with me and she's like, oh, she's like, I got a list for you. And so she gave me her punch list.
Punch list for the boat or for you?
No, for the house.
Yeah, I was going to say the honeydew list.
Yeah, the honeydew list. Yeah, so she got me. She's like, since you're making lists, I got one for you. So we came up with one for the house too.
Cool. I like your punch list and your wish list. Those are two different worlds, aren't they?
Yeah, because, you know, there's stuff that you absolutely have to have, you know, if it's anything safety or anything mechanical, electrical, plumbing, whatever. But then there's the stuff like, you know, it would be nice to, you know, and those are usually little improvements or upgrades or, you know, so.
Starlink, things like that.
I wish I was always on the wish list, but I usually just get stuck in the punch list and the wish list never happens.
I don't think I ever got out of my punch list.
Yeah.
It's full time.
Well,
I don't have any idea how much maintenance it takes to run a boat. I know when I was growing up and I was watching the sport boats and I thought, these guys never break down. They never fail. They run every night, no matter what. And I was just fascinated by the fact that you guys ran the bottom line was you either leave at 10 o'clock at night or you don't. And if you don't, and no matter what, the entire fleet, back when there was albacore fever and there was 100 boats running a night to Everham's at 10 o'clock, every one of those boats was making that trip every night for 90 straight days. And I don't see how you guys did it. I mean, it's just unbelievable the amount of work that goes into maintaining and running these sport boats in a way that as you step on as a passenger, you don't have to think about it.
Right. And it's you kind of, I don't want to say you're fighting, but you're working to keep that boat going at all times. You know, you're working when you're out there, you're working when it's back at the dock in between trips. I mean, somebody is always on that boat, on the sport boat for sure. And, it takes a good crew to keep it running smoothly, but that's the thing. I mean, the more, like we all know, the worst thing for a boat is to sit at the dock. If a boat's just sitting in the trailer in front of your house and then you're going to take it out once a year and just expect it to work perfectly, well, good luck, man, because I've tried that too a long time ago with, even just my little whaler, and you get down there and you're all disappointed. You're like, oh, man, you got to remember, you got to do dailies, weeklies, and monthlies, whether that thing is at the dock, whether it's at home, no matter what. But the best thing to do is run it and give it the good shakedown and then come up with your, like you said, the ongoing punch list, Yep.
So your saltwater, sunshine, and electricity don't mix too well.
Yeah, I know. And it's funny. It's like you think, oh, no, this looks good. I had one where one of my battery cables ended up being the culprit, but it was just a jumper line that I have going to make my 6 volts in series. And it looked good. The continuity was good. Everything was good on it. And then when we tested the resistance on it, it has so much resistance. And I'm like, there's no way it could be that simple. Threw that thing out, put a new one on, and boom, everything worked perfect. I'm like, no way. And I went through everything before I got there, literally everything. And that was the last thing I thought it would be. So two days later, problem solved.
2 days, 2 days of troubleshooting, and you finally found the cable that was culprit. There's always something.
But it was awesome because while I was down, cleaned everything up, checked all the fuses, and literally went through everything in the electrical system. And then, so then to find out it was a stupid easy fix was cool because it actually forced me to crawl under deep into the bilge, battery area, and just tidy everything up. So Yeah, so it's pretty good right now.
Well, let me tell you an inside secret to the
Oh,
sport fishing thing my
that
dad
easy?
taught me. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, got you loud and clear, Dave.
Okay, back in the 90s, I had a meeting with my father one day. We sat down and we talked about where's all this where does all this money come from, Dad, to do this maintenance? Now, remember, my father, he wasn't very deep into the industry. He only owned 9 sport boats at the time, so we didn't really have much knowledge on how it all worked. But here's how he broke it down to me. He said, "Okay, listen, David, this is super important for you to understand, and you need to kind of share this with any of your friends who are thinking of getting in the industry." We had 2 engines on the sport boat that I ran back in that day. And he said, we take $25 a day per engine, and that goes into the bank account. $25, excuse, not per day, per hour. $25 per hour per engine goes into a bank account so that when the winter time comes and it's time to put the boat in the shipyard, that's where that money comes from. Now, David, he said, there'll be times where you don't have to spend that every penny of it, but more than not, there'll be times where you don't have enough money. And that's every single year. So guys that are getting into this industry and they're like, oh, I'm going to run 6-packs or I'm going to run da-da-da. They forget about the maintenance fee. They're like, well, I'm going to get $2,000 a day to take these guys fishing. Well, you're not, because you're going to have to pay for fuel. You might, I don't know, maybe some of the guys, when they go fishing with you, they want bait. That's
Maybe.
fine. And
Or
now
ice.
bait
Or
is
ice.
bait 60 bucks a scoop if you figure it out. If you want squid, it's $100 a scoop. And then you may, I don't know, you might want to carry some insurance since you're taking people fishing. So
I got
gang,
I
at
got
the
to worry about that.
at the end of the day, if you do it right, it's a negative. There's not a positive. And these guys are learning that big time now, these offshore big time bluefin fishermen, 4-packs and stuff. It's all penciling out now. It's not looking so red hot, so good. But something that was really cool that happened since last week when you were on the show, Michael and Pablo, that bluefin decided to absolutely commit suicide. And Mike Laus, who was with us on the show the other day, he ended up getting 10 people. He ended up going with 10.
You got 10. Cool.
Yeah, he had, or excuse me, had 11.
He had 3. He had 3 and he committed to go.
Yep. And he ended up with 11 and he caught limits.
Right on.
He ended up getting 43 or 48 fish for the day, for the 2.5 day trip. He got 2-day limits for his guys, everybody and crew. Everybody
Yeah.
was super stoked. But if you look, the Pacific Queen had limits, the Polaris Deluxe had limits. All the guys that were on those multi-day trips had limits, and that fish less than 100 miles from home. So that is a great sign of things to come. Things are starting to look good. The season's starting to get going. Justin, you guys can see Pablo and Mike, not the rest of you guys, but he's over in our corner. He's out fishing right now with one of our sponsors, Don Stanley, and they pretty much 2 spots had limits to rockfish. They're poking around trying to find something else to bite. If something exciting happens here, we will definitely go back over to Justin. It was just too loud on his boat while he was traveling to bring him on here. But I want to show this to Michael because I'm so proud of this. I want you to see. I got 4 or 5 clips of what we did the other day with Roy and Tim, and I know you've known both of those guys,
2 of the best in the business.
and so I want you to see this because it's pretty. This is pretty cool, gang. And Michael knows what it's like to get up in the bridge with these guys. So check this out. We got our special guest already with us. So let's not waste any time. Let's get this thing going. Good morning, young man.
What's going on, Dave? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I am so excited. What a great show we're gonna have this morning. My gosh, where are you?
You are live from the bridge of Royal Star. I'm actually walking out of the wing. We'll see if we can work this. We got wind going on here, not too much, but got Captain Roy Rose pulling the anchor right now. There he is. Hello. In action. Got the boys pulling the anchor down there on deck. I don't know how we're working out with the wind, but we're currently pulling the anchor out here in the middle of the ocean. I can give you a 360 view, but you guys all know what water looks like.
Yeah, we do. Look at this, guys. Roy Rose and Tim Ekstrom at the same time. Come on.
That's it right here in the selfie, right? Oh, yes,
Look
sir.
at that.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
2/3 of the Royal Star operating team right now. That's it.
Wow, this is pretty
Right on.
exciting. Where are you in the world?
We are out in the, like on the edge, we'll call it the Flemish Cap. We're out here in the middle of the ocean, a long, long way south, about 1,000 miles, roughly exactly 1,000 from San Diego on a about a 182 course.
So you're going to swing by my house on the way home since you're like 100 miles away?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. Yeah, we'll be up there. We'll be up there to drop the guys off for margaritas and beer and maybe a night or two stay in the beautiful Twin Cities there before they head home and meet the boat on March 4th with what is working out to be a beautiful catch of fish.
All right. Well, maybe me and my monkey will come down and say hi to you guys.
Yeah, we'll be there for a few hours in the morning, but we haven't had a big
What do you think
barber
of
here
that,
by any
Michael
means.
Folks?
So cool. Where did he go? Did he get cut off?
No. I got pieces. You got
Oh,
to.
those are pieces. I was thinking we were live. I'm thinking, oh my God, that's so cool. They came back on.
No, that they may be with us here in 20 minutes or so. He said around 12:30, quarter to 1, something. They're going to jump on for a few minutes. You got to remember, thank you, Elon Musk, Starlink. But man, when you're doing these live shows, and Pablo and Justin and I, we know. Well, Pablo and Justin don't know, but I do because I get to pay the bill every month, and it's an extraordinary amount of money to do these live shows. Like I was trying to explain to somebody yesterday. They're like, why doesn't everybody do it? Well,
Yeah.
they all try. They all try. And then they get that bill and they're like, oh, what the heck just happened? So we're very, very blessed to have the handful of sponsors that we have that help cover the expense of doing these live fishing shows, gang. And if it wasn't for our sponsors, we couldn't do it. And like I told Tim and Roy, we'll do it as much as we possibly can as long as you guys are willing to buy that Starlink, because I don't have the Starlink on their boats. They do. So Tim's got to look at it. So we're going to do, hopefully he'll jump on here today with us for a little bit. But the big sponsor of the show today is Promar. Pablo and I and Justin and Al and Sonny are all sponsored by Promar, and we want to thank them from the bottom of our hearts because they make this show possible. They make the fishing trips that we do possible. I mean, they give Pablo, Justin, Al a phenomenal amount of products to complete what they're doing every day. Yep. Brian and Pablo work together. Brian makes a lot of Pablo's videos. But right now we're trying to show everybody these rock cod squirts. We're having a contest. You take a picture with the rock cod squirt hanging out of the fish's mouth. You put it on your social media platform. You hashtag Promar25. And then you tag your saltwater guide. And I don't care if it's TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Rumble, X, Threads, whatever you're on. If you post this picture, I will see it because I'm on every platform. And then we're going to pick a winner each month for 3 months. And we're going to give you $200 worth of Promar product. And I'll tell you what, this stuff, if you watched Justin yesterday or this morning, these things are gold. These rock cod squirts, and I was talking pink ones for the last 4 or 5 years, but now it's all about squid. So I'd say these white ones are your go-to, and Justin and Pablo catch plenty of fish with these, right, Pablo?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, that's the only thing we use, and just got all stocked up and ready to go. And yeah, I mean, if you watch any of our videos, that's all you're gonna see, and they work great. I was talking to who was I talking to this morning? Sorry, I just forgot my thought. But anyway, who was it? Dwayne. That's what it was. I was talking to Dwayne. He was out there, and he said they were doing like little experiments, like just putting the squirts down with not tipped with squid, just putting anchovies down on a hook, like just check everything out. And hands down, the squirts, even if they weren't tipped, they were working really good. And then when he basically said the non-tipped ones were working really good, but he said when you tipped it with squid, it wasn't even fair because they just whacked it like as soon as they hit the bottom, and they limited out on those things. What, nice. In one drift? So
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, they're an amazing product. And right now, the QR code's up on the screen, gang. You're going to save 15% on your order. And when you go over to the website, you're going to see that you're using a ton of their products and you don't even know it. Now Pablo's playing with you, switching his camera around, making you look at him sideways. He always is goofing around. He loves to goof around. But there, come on, Pablo, turn it around. But go over there and check out PromarAhiUSA.com. Put in the code YSWG, the number 25, or use that QR code on the screen and save 15%. Now, Michael, you've been in this industry for a long time, making videos, being on people's boats. How incredible! I can't emphasize how incredible it is to be able to get up in the Royal Stars wheelhouse, right?
Oh, it's being in the wheelhouse is like we said earlier. It's being in Command Central, and you have no idea as a passenger if you've never been up there and gotten to see how hard these guys work. It's 24/7. It's like Pablo was saying. You work on that boat 24/7. It takes an entire crew, and to be up in the wheelhouse and watch how hard these guys work to find fish and what their decisions are based on. You know how they read the water, what they're doing with the currents. It's an amazing experience to watch these guys work. And I want to touch base real quick on something you said earlier about your dad, Dave, about $50 an hour per motor. Buying a boat, that's the cheapest expense you're going to have. Whatever the price of the boat is, it doesn't matter because your maintenance is going to be at least 20% of that cost every year. And if you think it's otherwise, you're fooling yourself. I don't care if you've got a 13-foot whaler or 118-foot deluxe long-range sport boat. It's going to cost you 20% of your cost of purchase to run that boat every year just in maintenance.
Yeah, it's an amazing amount that people don't realize. Because the reason I brought it up was when you were saying, was a young man, you were going, these boats never break down. That's the furthest thing from the truth. We're holding them together by about the end of July, beginning of August. A lot of baling wire, a lot of duct tape, a lot of hose clamps, a lot of stuff.
When I had my first boat in San Diego, we had it at Driscoll's over there, right next to the landing, just on the other side of the seafood restaurant there, on the other side of the Red Rooster. And I was there for 3 months doing some major work, and every single night, every single one of those sport boats, I knew every sport boat by the sound of its motors. I could tell what boat was doing what at what time just by the sound of their engines and their exhaust. And they never failed, man. They were 24/7 running every day. It's a young man's sport, but those guys are I have the highest respect.
And then you look at it today compared to back when you and I were doing it. They're fishing 24 hours, which is pretty amazing what they're doing now. This 24-hour fishing where you could get bit at 6 o'clock this morning, or you could get bit at midnight tonight, and you got to be on the sticks the whole time. We did a cool thing with Mike Laus on Saturday night. We went live in his wheelhouse for an hour watching him track a school of bluefin. We were up in the wheelhouse at 9 o'clock at night watching him track a school of bluefin on the sonar. Unfortunately, we did it for an hour. We didn't get bit. But as soon as I went off,
he got bit.
Of
course.
And he finished off but he was kind of nervous. He was driving around and he was trying to put on a good show, but I was stressing him out of his mind. So we decided to let him go. And then right afterwards, he got bit, and then he sent me pictures of the big whoppers coming over the rail.
Very cool.
But we're doing something super special, doing these live fishing trips every day with different guys. Pablo's a part of it. He's got the Starlink on his boat. Justin's a part of it. Now we got long range boats in this. We got Captain Al Clowers doing live from the Coronados or live from Back Bay, San Diego. It's just an amazing thing. But I would love to see everybody do it. I just don't think they got the wherewithal or the patience, or allowing people to see what you're doing is kind of a big deal, right, Mike?
Oh, it's amazing. I love what you're doing. It puts you there. I mean, I felt like just now when we watched that clip, I thought we were live. I thought we were watching Timmy and Roy on the boat, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I want to be there.
And think about this, gang. That's Starlink. That is better. I don't know what we're doing wrong, Justin and Pablo and I, but if you look at the quality, I'm like, why isn't our Starlink showing it that good, right, Pablo? It's like it is flawless. I got another little clip I want to show you and Pablo of these guys. You're watching Roy Rose track a school of Wahoo. Check this out. It is unbelievable.
That's the picture perfect. Oh, we got a jig strike there too. How
Hook
about
up.
that? What a
Here we
shocker.
Here we go.
A lot of times we get these small tuna, they'll grab onto the wahoo jigs, but these wahoo maraud around on the edges of these schools of these small tuna and skipjack. Just a buffet of waiting them at all times. Let's see what we caught here. We got Frank Argus on the troll here. Our anglers were up early this morning, so you can see they're not exactly full of crazy enthusiasm to get out of here and start chucking jigs. They've been going at it since about 4 a.m. This is a limited load. It's sponsored by Chris Yamada and Calistar Rods, who've been making this trip many a year. Here we go. There you go. Wahoo, little guy. We'll take him. That'll make a fish sandwich or two.
Take that all day long. This is pretty exciting, Tim. We got 75 people watching live right now.
Nice.
Woo!
Nice. There you go. Right on the edge of that school, those tuna. I don't know if you guys just saw. Oh. I don't know if you just saw that one jump out of the water right there. Oh, Chris Masig.
There you go. This is so awesome. This is so fun. Dave, Michael. I was trying to get us to full screen. Isn't that bitching?
Oh, so cool.
That is insane. That's like so next level. I mean, I would imagine that more people are going to be. I want to get on that boat because that just if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what you're waiting for.
And we got 2 hours of that, gang. If you haven't seen it yet, over on YouTube is the easiest way. I mean, you can watch it on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Rumble, but the easiest way I think would be just jump over on YouTube and go, Dave, your saltwater guide live on the Royal Star and watch it. We got 2 hours of that. And I was talking to one of our members yesterday. He was getting ready. Oh, wait a minute, Michael Folks. Look who's here. This is live, baby.
How's it going, buddy?
Good.
You got Tim Ekstrom with you live, Michael Folks.
Oh, Tim.
Hey, buddy. How we doing?
Good. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Great coverage.
I gotta see which way the camera is oriented. You guys see?
You're okay.
Is it oriented towards my face, or are you guys looking out?
No, we're looking right up your nose hairs.
Let me see something here.
How rad
you see the ocean now?
Nope, we're still seeing you.
How do I flip the camera, Dave?
It should be right on the screen. Where's Duke? Duke's the master.
Let me see. Hold on. We're just stopping here. So this is what we're looking at, right? We just stopped. This is probably going to be our final stop of the trip here. We're finishing up here, and the last couple of days, fish has jumped on the outside. Fishing's dropped off a little bit, but we finished got a really nice trip on Wahoo here. Guys have pieced it together, a handful of nicer tuna each day, and all's well that ends well. I've had a great time. Weather kicked up the last few days a little bit, not too bad to impact the fishing, but overall, again, you just had a great trip. You guys had a great time. So,
hey, Timmy?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us real quick how you came up with the RSW plan?
Hang on 1 second. Let me go back in the bridge here. Ugh. Boat's rolling around a bit. Yikes.
Come
Okay.
on, Roy, quit rolling the boat around.
Put those stabilizers on.
I got the driving duty today.
Get that Seakeeper running.
Yeah. Now I've got things squared away. Let me turn the volume down on this damn sonar. We got good fish on the fathom meter here, actually. This looks pretty good. I wouldn't be holy smokes. Look at this. You guys see this screen right here?
Oh, look at all the worms.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's good fish coming under us. I get the feeling we might hook something here. Hang on a second. Let me make an announcement. And there's really good fish on the meter right now. Anywhere from 30 all the way down to 45 fathom. We should be hooking something.
How cool
So
is
put it
this?
on those guys. They should be hooking something. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Oh my God,
Denver,
Michael
look at
Polk. How cool is
Not
this?
You guys saw the meter, not a bite yet.
It'll come.
So anyway, Dave, what were you asking about how we started the RSW thing?
Yeah, Michael was.
Yeah, I was asking how you came up with that idea, Timmy.
Let me tell you the origin of it. We actually, we ran 2 years. We ran the boat all the way down to Panama. We ran a series of voyages down out of Panama City. And the first year we were down there, we used to hold all our fish in spray brine. Pull down we'd add salt to the tank and pull it down to 0 or 5 degrees, 5 below 0. Fish would freeze solid. We'd return with obviously it preserved them, but in a frozen state with high salinity. When we got down to Panama, our first idea was that, we were going to, make it super, super cold and freeze the fish as fast as we possibly could because the water was really warm down there, high 80s, mid 80s, really a different climate, a different atmosphere. So we started throwing the fish down in there and we pulled one out and filleted it. This is like the second or third day that we had been fishing. And you guys, the brine was so cold and the core temperature of the fish was so hot that it actually froze a layer around the outside and insulated the fish. So all that heat that was at the core, it cooked the fish. It literally cooked it. I mean, the thing was jello. It was absolutely ruined. We had to, cut it up for chunk bait, and even then it was hardly useful. So, we had to adapt in a New York minute, if you will, to figure out some kind of system that was going to keep that from happening. So, I had flooded the tanks before, filled them full of water to when, we caught a whole bunch of fish to try to pull the heat out of them faster. So it's kind of a natural way, like, well, let's fill these tanks all the way to the top and then we'll take the innards out of the fish, gut them. And that way the water will both invade, the cold water will invade the body cavity as well as refrigerate it from around the outside. And there you go, the birth of RSW. We brought the fish in, and it just so happened when we were down there, we offloaded all our fish at a commercial port called Vacamonte, and there were some fish buyers that were walking. There was a lot of commercial boats, and some fish buyers were there. As we were offloading our fish, they came by and they said, they asked me, they said, "Oh, are those for sale?" And I said, "No, they're not. They were caught by recreational anglers. They belong to them." And they said, "God, those fish are just beautiful." They looked like they were still alive. They said, "God, those fish are beautiful. Would you mind if we just look at them? Come down and look at the quality." So they had I forget what that tool is. They take the core out. You see it on Wicked Tuna. Anyway, they do a core on the fish. They lay it out, and you see them over there whispering to each other. And I said, what do you think, guys? And they said, "This is the best fish we've seen in here in 2 months." They said, "This quality." Yeah, he said, "This is incredible. You'd get $5. That was back in 2003. You'd get $5 a pound for this fish right now." And that was it. The light bulb came on. I swear I looked at Randy, literally, I looked at him, I said, the world as we know it has just changed. Like, we are going to absolutely blow up the world of long range fishing. We're gonna start doing this. We're gonna bring all our catches in like this. We're gonna, introduce the opportunity anglers to bring their fish home fresh. And we can say it, we didn't know back then, but the quality of fish wasn't all that great coming out of the brine. It just wasn't. And I'm being kind, it just wasn't that good. You had to refreeze it after you filleted it or thawed it, and the stuff out of the RSW. You guys know the rest. So anyway, that is the story of the birth of the RSW system on Royal Star. And, you know, I mean, it was, I can say for sure, I mean, for me personally, as a contribution to our fishery, you know, the world of sport. Hey,
Roy Rose. Roy Rose.
Hey, how's it going, Dave? We got one going. I think it's a shark, maybe.
Oh boy, all that tuna down there. We have the shark. Imagine that. Still gonna
Well,
be here. Can you believe
well,
this?
Tim,
Oh my God.
we know why, Tim. Because
Why
you're
is that?
driving the boat. Well, let Roy have the wheel.
Oh my God. I can't believe we're not hooking a tuna. I think these guys are gonna try to sink a rig here or something. I can't.
What was the tuna?
I don't know if anybody's trying to sink a rig with one of these sardines, but if we're not, we should. We got a lot of fish down from 40 to 60 fathom, pretty steady. These might be better size. If somebody rig a sinker on there, a 6 ouncer at least, and try dropping down. Maybe we'll
Jim's definitely got one.
Oh, nice. We got a tuna hooked here. Jim Baker.
Again,
God, that guy's a good
that
fisherman.
guy knows what he's
a
doing.
good fisherman, man. He had some. So anyway, you know, was I going back to oh yeah, as far as the contribution, everybody likes to do something to make the world a better place, you know, and evolve the fishery. If you've chosen this as a career, and I can honestly say there's a whole hell of a lot of pride that was a transformative contribution. It did, you know, it evolved this industry, and it made just not the world of long range fishing, but you know, I know we've talked about it before. I talked about it with Michael. I talked about it with you, Dave. I mean, the entire fishery, all the way from guys fishing on their skiffs to the half day boats to the local boats. You know, from that day forward, everybody began to pay a much more heed to producing a quality product and you know, showing the proper respect for the harvest out here. I can't tell you how much pride I have in looking at the result of that. You know, it's those little moments. You know, if you catch them, if you're lucky enough to catch them and capitalize on them, you can change the world. And in the world of sport fishing or long range sport fishing out of San Diego, we certainly did.
You did, absolutely. You guys changed. It was a game changer. And look at the quality of the fish we get today because of that.
Oh my gosh!
You're bringing home sushi grade stuff.
Yeah. It is. It absolutely is. I mean, I know like this load of fish right here. Think of coming in from your long range trip, and you know, a lot of these guys, the wahoo are really biting good out there. So just about everybody caught as many as they wanted, and you know, we talked about this the other day, Dave. Some of the guys kept 5 or 6. That's as many as they wanted, and some of the guys kept a full limit of 15. Other guys kind of topped off around 10. That combined with a couple of tuna, a couple 3 tuna, and that 80 to 120 pound class. But you return home with that beautiful. I mean, and it's all fresh. Everything on the boat is in premium fresh condition. We don't add salt to our tanks. It's just straight pure seawater in there that we change over a couple times. Oh, just put the gaffs in there. But anyway, just the kind of value that adds to the trip to be able to return home with that beautiful product. Man, it's just. Let me see what we got.
Oh, let's check out these fish.
Oh, it is Jim Baker. We've got the beloved booby birds here. Of course, they've got to contribute to the scene, make a bunch of noise about it.
Hey, I've got one more question, Tim. How's your daughter coming with her artwork there for the boardwalk?
You know, the board liked the boardwalk. They really liked the idea. They're gonna you know, they got some other ideas they want to incorporate that into. But I you know, it was a great idea to get the project off the ground. She's actually in the process of launching a new women's beach volleyball league. She's all in, man.
That's so cool.
Yeah, she's an incredible kid, an incredible athlete, you know, and has a whole lot of experience under her belt. So we wish her the best. As a matter of fact, hey, you know, big announcement. So what was it? It was about a week ago. She actually, she's now officially engaged. She's getting married.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we're happy about it. She's married a great guy, awesome athlete. So anyway, let me walk out back and see what the hell we got going on here. I know Jim's tied into one.
Yeah, let's go see what's going on.
Oh, look at the fish upwind. Look at them crashing up there. Tuna blowing out. Oh, there's fish right here in the corner. Oh man, look at this right here. Oh, look at that right there in the corner. You guys get. You guys
Boy,
get
look
in on
how-
that? That fish
look how
boiling right there in the corner?
Now it froze up.
Holy smokes, they're blowing out upwind too. Man, this is.
Just a matter of time before they came up, huh?
Boy, this is. I know the wind's got it. Boiling right here in the stern. Nice tuna. We got Jim Baker pulling on one. Hard to believe it. We're not hooking more fish as much of a showing there is here. Looks like maybe a 40-pound tuna are about to gaff it.
Nice. We can see so good. Isn't it amazing the quality, Michael?
It's
Oh,
beautiful.
boil out there. Oh, look at him on the corner right there.
Look at that fish all the way out of the water.
Woo!
All right. 50, 60 pounder.
Woo! Beautiful fish.
Right? Man, there's some big ones boiling upwind. Get bit, cherry picked. Boy, for as much fish as we have on the meter, right there, another boil. As much fish as we have on the meter, boy, you'd think you'd be slaying these things. Fish boiling upwind. Look at this. You see that upwind?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
You get the live action with Roy Rose, man. It's never a dull moment.
you know how lucky you are, Captain.
Yes, I do.
You know, I actually do. I mean, I reflect upon it daily, just how fortunate we are to be able to do this. And this is, you know, I started fishing with Ed McEwen on the Pacific Queen I had started fishing before that, but I started working officially for Eddie McEwen on the Pacific Queen in 1984. So this is, you know, I'm 41 years into this kind of fishing. I started long range fishing when I was 19 on Royal Polaris. So, you know, I got 30 some odd plus years, you know, 37 years doing this. And there isn't a day that goes by that I don't count my blessings. And just, I mean, the amount of the things that we've seen, you know, the opportunities that we've had to just, you know, live life in God's cathedral out here is pretty amazing. I can't tell you how appreciative I am, and how appreciative I am for the opportunity to take so many people out here with us and introduce us to this world. You know, I mean, it's a I'm still convinced. Oh, they're screaming back here. The ocean is still the last frontier. There's no question about it. So
Yeah, but it's God's cathedral. I love the way you said that.
it totally is. I really feel that way. Oh, we got another hook back here, John Strock. Boy, the birds are going crazy here today.
You know what's amazing?
This
Tim
is
and
this is
Michael?
basically the.
You think about this. You guys we've been doing this so long. There was a time where we would just be happy to hear an AM radio station down there where you're at. It would have been like magical. Here we are. Michael Folks is in his house in Laguna Beach. I'm in my house in Cabo. Tim's on the middle of the ocean, and we're all talking to each other, and we can see each other.
Amazing.
I know, isn't that crazy? You know, the other day when we logged on, Dave, I knew it was going to be a cool thing, but I was, you know, I didn't know it was going to be this cool. I'm telling you, I was just blown away. I was blown away by the response, and I was blown away by how much fun we had doing it. You know, I mean, this is great. The opportunity to, you know, Michael, you mentioned that about what, you know, how lucky we are to do this, and now it's how lucky we are to share this with that many more. You know, it's not just the 15, the 16 anglers here on board. It's however many thousands, you know, hundreds, thousands choose to log in, and they can see what's going on out here. They can share in the moment.
It's got me all fired up.
Makes you want to cast a bait. You see one blow out of the corner right there.
On a fly line of bait out there so quick.
Oh yeah, when you see the fish on the corner and you look at those guys standing there, you're like, just give me a chance in the corner. Let me throw a bait.
Yep.
I'm actually kind of blown away. You know, I mean, these fish really—they're not biting that good. You'd think from the surface show and what we're seeing on the meter, you'd think you'd just be hammering these things. That they've been finicky the last couple of days. You know, we had fish come across the bank in the late afternoon. Oh my gosh! I mean, it's just this giant eruption, just fish flying out of the water, chasing flying fish for 300, 400 yards all around the boat, all the way out there to you see them out there jumping a mile away all at the same time. And it was hard as hell to get a bite. You know, they were focused on whatever, the little flying fish they were eating and what they were doing. We picked one off out there, amidst them, but it's the same thing that's going on right now. You know, you think you'd be lambasting them, but you're just picking off the occasional one. But, of course, we got another biter. Of course, that's better than none. We're happy for, there it is right there.
Kind of
All right, there we go. We got a couple.
explained. We got a whole bunch of different people. It's a different audience than Saturday. Explain to people where you're at and what you're doing, because there's a lot of people that have no idea.
The other day, we're basically, get out of the wind here. We're basically 1,000 miles south of San Diego. We're about 600 miles offshore. There's a series of banks down here. There's one in particular that we've had our best fishing at, where we've posted up. Imagine being 600 miles from shore, anchored up or drifting around a bank that comes up to 90 feet deep at its shallowest. That far offshore, and you can imagine what a beacon for fish it is in the middle of basically, the tropical eastern tropical Pacific Ocean, which is, among, if not the most fertile in the world. It's just an incredible destination that it's rarely accessible to anyone other than a boat like ours that has this kind of capability. It's really not accessible. I mean, it would be a stretch to bring even a big mega yacht, kind of private boat out here. They're just not really designed for it. And other than commercial boats, the commercial tuna fleet, this is let's say that this is our domain out here, and the caliber of fishing, the potential out here, the potential to see fishing that is just recreational fishing that is just beyond someone's imagination is here 24/7.
And how many days? Because a lot of people, you and I and Michael know, but let people know, how many days are these people on your boat? What's the deal? Because people want to know. This is insane. This has never been done before.
So this is. Hold on a second here. Make sure you guys still with me here. There we go. So this is it's 12 days from San Diego to Cabo San Lucas. We're stretching it out here. We're actually underway, but soon underway, and we'll be in Cabo, arriving Cabo in the early morning. Hold on a second here. Let me see what's going on. Be arriving in Cabo in a couple of days, and most of these anglers, they actually opt to stay in Cabo for a couple of days, or a day. They'll spend the night. They'll unwind a little bit before they jump on the plane and prepare to meet the boat back in San Diego. Here, Duke's just about to put one in the RSW tank. I want you guys to watch this. See, the fish is all dressed out. They removed the gills and the guts. You see some wahoo in there. See, the tank is full of water. And away he goes. And you see
that is so.
Now when the fish go in there, they displace water. They displace the water so the tank stays full all the time. And as long as we put that hatch on to where it's rock solid, there's no free surface movement whatsoever in that tank. So the fish don't flop around there. They don't get banged up. They don't get scuffed up. They're basically in kind of a semi-buoyant state until the tank is full. And that was, again, it's 30 degrees seawater. We refrigerate it and we hold it right at about 30 degrees. Seawater doesn't freeze until 28 because of the salinity. So when we offload that catch, that fish looks just like that. It looks just beautiful, fresh, still has its color. And it's not frozen. It's just perfectly in that ultimate refrigerated state that maintains that freshness until, 2 weeks is about our max for holding them in the RSW. And this trip, by the time we started fishing, we'll bring this fish in about 10 days total. But we've had catches that we've held for 2 weeks in refrigerated seawater that turn out, I mean, they're just beautiful. It's just the fish is as beautiful as the one you put in the last day. The one you put in the first day is as beautiful as the one
Can't
you
even
put in
tell
the
the difference. Can't even tell the difference.
Yeah, you can't. You really can't. It's, you know, the whole key is maintaining it. Oh, we got another glider right here. Nice. The whole key is maintaining that temperature and that, you know, that perfect 30, 31 degree state. If these guys, we catch another one here, I'll take you down on deck. As long as we don't lose signal, I'll take you down on deck and you can watch the boys dress one out.
Cool.
The method that we use on here, when the fish is landed, first thing we do, we gently land it. We dispatch it with a spike to the brain. And then when we pull the spike out, we actually run a cord all the way down the spinal column, all the way to the tail, and knock down all the nerve synapses that are firing. It actually arrests the whole decomposition process, but there's no more lactic acid that's being dumped into the muscles of the fish. So it's absolutely the way to produce a premium quality product. Makes the fish that much better. It's a texture thing. It leads to longer shelf life. And then once we remove that cord and the fish is bled out, we actually take the innards out of the fish, all the gills and guts, clean it out real good, and then we slide it into that RSW tank quickly. We don't waste any time. We get it in that RSW tank. Generally within about 5 minutes of the fish being landed, it's being slid into that RSW tank to be maintained at 30 degrees the rest of the ride home.
That is, it was so cool having you tell us a story about how you came up with the system, Tim. It's just, it changed the world. It changed the way we fish.
Well, you know, it's, you know, I think I said it earlier. It's like, you have those opportunities in life. You have those little moments, you know what I mean? If I guess in our case, it was you know, necessity is the mother of invention. And fortunately, we had the opportunity by necessity to come up with something different. And it just ended up being that transformational moment, that transformational, or that opportunity to transform an entire industry.
Yeah, you did. Everybody owes you a world of gratitude, sir.
Well, it's my pleasure being you know, I said I've got a life investment in this, so there's nothing I cherish more than the opportunity to not just, you know, participate in the fishery, but the opportunity to pay it forward, not just for us, but for all the anglers that we bring out here, and you know, they're reaping the rewards through, you know, even I love talking to the guys up at AFCO. They came up with those circuit breakers basically to do the exact same thing, and you know, private boaters are doing the same thing. They're taking much better care of their fish using their circuit breakers. You know, everybody across the board is reaping the rewards of that. So there's nothing I could come up with that really is more rewarding for me is a lifetime, you know, a lifetime crew member and captain in this fishery. Let's look out here and see. We got another one here. We got 2 on. Oh, we have 3 on here. We got John Stroke. Oh, here we go. Wind is kind of washing things out, but water slopping around. Here we go, boys. Couple lines twisted up, all part of the program. Boys working their magic, got him out of trouble. Oh, one just got away. That sucks. We still have the one on the corner, though.
That's my buddy Chris Hendrickson right there, huh?
Let me see. Where is Chris? Oh, he's up the side. He's on. I think we got John Strock with all the fish back there. I'll get you out of the wind while we're waiting for something to happen here. We're just about ready to pull the plug on this thing.
And we're here with you. How badass is this, Michael? We're here with them, and they're about to pull the plug. This is insane.
I'm speechless. How cool this is.
Let's see if these guys get this last one up here.
Before they do that, gang, I'm gonna put the new Royal Star Instagram page up on the screen. You guys got to follow these guys. That's their new Instagram. It doesn't look, because it's brand new. They just put it back together. Someone stole their old one. So there you go. That's who you got to follow right there.
Okay, we got success right here. Fish coming over for struck. A nice
Woo!
one.
Another nice tuna.
50, 60 pounder. Yeah, that one. He'll eat good.
And we're going to get to watch him dress it out.
Not the, yeah, let me. I'm gonna have him pull it over here a little closer when he does it.
That would be awesome.
Hey, dude, will you pull it over and dress it out right here so the guys can watch? Thank you.
Unbelievable.
The whole process, wire and everything. He's gonna drag him over here right now. Hold on, they're hollering up the sides.
Yeah, Renee, I'm eating this footage up. That's for sure. Look how cool it is.
Here we go. All right, here's Duke. He's gonna
Tilt that camera.
don't worry about that right now.
Tilt it down a little bit. We can't see.
We had a
We
biter.
can't see. Got to tilt the camera down more.
Yep.
Yes,
You see now?
perfect.
Okay, so he just bled it out. It's gory as hell, but he bled it out. Already got the spike in the head. We're gonna run the wire down. Heads up, Jim. Here goes the wire. Oh, another one coming over for Roy. There it goes. You got it. Hot action here. Wire going down the spine. Oh, another one coming over. Now you got to watch how fast he spikes it. Bam, done. So the fish is dispatched. Heads up, heads up, heads up. We're doing a demo. Heads up, Cliff.
Yes,
Got
sir.
it over here.
All right, it's a little gory. A little gory, but we're gonna get it done here.
Well, all that blood means it's no longer in the meat.
Can you throw a hose up here? Throw a hose up here. Thank you.
Hey, Tim, I think,
Yes, sir.
isn't there about, if
There it is.
you're bleeding out a tuna, then you,
That's good.
Nice.
That's good. Okay,
Yes,
get
thank
that?
you very much.
and all that blood would normally, all that blood
it's,
would normally coagulate in the fish, end up in the flesh, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah, you guys saw that. All that blood that was on the deck, had they not bled it out, all of that would have coagulated. It would have been retained in the meat. So all that blood comes out, and then you guys saw them remove the innards, and then the next thing they do, they clean the fish thoroughly. They'll wash the inside out of it until it'll wash all the blood off the outside, and then they insert it into the RSW tank. Let me walk back there. They got another one going too. Let's see if we can give you one more.
This is so cool. Can't
Remember,
So he's already done. These boys work fast. He's already
Nice.
done the other one. That's the one that
already
just
fun.
came over the rail. See, now they're rinsing it out thoroughly. Fish is tagged, identified. We mark it in a column on the list, so everybody knows whose
You're
fish it
pulling
is
the
when we get
entrails
back.
out through their gills, right? I mean, you're pulling it out without opening up the cavity, right? How are you pulling the
Say it
guts
again,
out?
Michael. The guys just they cut the membranes on the side, and And that whole, once they undo the membrane on the side, that whole thing just slides out of there. Needless to say, these guys have a lot of practice at it. They're really good at it. I mean, they make it look so easy. They dress out like I said, that fish that was just landed, there it is. It's already gutted and it's ready to go in the RSW tank, which you're going to see right now. They're going to pop the hatch. They're going to pop the hatch and away it goes.
Tilt up a little bit.
Yes.
Like that. Okay, here we go. Hang on, boys. Boat's rolling around here. Move the hatch. Thank you.
Beautiful.
First one's already down. There goes the next one. That's it.
Yeah.
99.
How beautiful is that?
Isn't that great?
That is so cool.
I want to say something real quick.
See how fast that process was? I mean, those guys just bam, bam. That fish was landed like, what, 3 minutes ago? But they dressed that one. I came over here. We talked for a minute. I walked back. They already have the other one dressed. It's already done. And that fish is already in the tank.
The three of us are going to look back at this and we're going to say, we were there that day. This is going to change long-range sport fishing, Tim. What you and I did Saturday morning and what we're doing right now, the industry, just like the RSW, bro. This is cutting edge. This is
gotta love it. Seems to be our signature around here.
And then
I love it, man. I love it. Thank you for the opportunity to come
and then
on
to have Michael Folks as part of this with us. Come on, you and I grew up watching this guy.
Oh my gosh, man, Michael and I have spent we made 2 or 3 long trips together down to Clipperton. We went to outside of the islands on that fly fishing trip. Man, we go way back.
We had a Panama trip. No, we didn't do Panama together. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah,
it was. You guys have always been pushing the limits. I love it. I absolutely love it, and always have done it with nothing but class. No fanfare, not blowing hard, just taking care of business.
Amen. All right, you guys. Well, I sure appreciate it, and I'm gonna sign off here. We're about to get underway.
Thank you so much, buddy.
Tim. Thank you. Thank Roy and the crew too. All right.
Roy.
See you, Roy.
See you guys later.
You too, buddy.
Have a beautiful ride in the trough.
Take
All
care.
right, thanks, Tim.
Bye. Take it easy.
Oh, was that the coolest shit or what?
People don't even know what they just saw, huh?
Oh my God, I got chills. It's just like unbelievable.
When I called him yesterday and said, Tim, I got Michael Folks on the show every Tuesday. Is there any way, even if you're riding back in the trough, I don't care. Can you come on with Michael? He's like, dude, if I have signal, I will be there. How badass is that? I mean, gang, you all don't understand. You're witnessing history. There's going to be a day when you look back and you go, every boat in the fleet has a camera. They're all live. Well, no one's ever done it before. Here we are.
And it's just like the RSW. Every boat in the fleet's using RSW now. It's a standard operational procedure. And I think these live cameras are going to be next.
My head is humming right now, Michael. It is absolutely humming.
I'm so pumped, David.
Gang, you have no idea what a big deal this is. When Tim, on Saturday morning, when he agreed to do this, I was just blown away. And then to have the two legends, Roy Rose and Tim Ekstrom, together live, dude, it's incredible. And I could start crying right now. That's how special this is to me and Michael. It is a special deal. Michael got to spend a lot of time and how many hours of editing to make Tim and Roy look like what we just saw?
The average was for every hour of film that we shot, it was 10 hours of editing.
So gnarly, dude. And we just did this live and everybody loved it. No editing at all.
Well, it's so authentic. There's no BS involved. It's just you're looking at it live. There's no editing. There's no legacy media trying to convince you of doing something a certain way. You're getting to see it live and in person and up close with the best in the business.
Yeah.
The best in the business, David. My hat's off to you too, sir, for making all this happen.
Oh my gosh, I'm so
Where the
happy.
hell did all this come from?
I thought I'd fried every brain cell back in the 70s, but obviously I have a couple left and
A little
they're
bit of
firing.
gray matter still firing off in there.
I just always am trying to change the whole thing, bro. I'm always on the cutting edge. And I can't thank Tim and Roy enough to let us in that wheelhouse. Let us be we were in the Royal Stars wheelhouse for the last 45 minutes.
I know. I got chills.
Lord have mercy. Gang, you got to go check out Michael's docuseries, The History of Sport Fishing. It is what we just got to witness. We all came from what Michael shows us in The History of Sport Fishing. The Declaration of Independence was written by outdoorsmen, fishermen, high-quality human beings that were tired of the baloney, just like we all are right now. What you're witnessing right now is a changing of the guards, just like what happened back in 1776. You don't know what you know until you go watch Michael's film and you go, whoa, it doesn't get any more real than that. When you guys realize that our founding forefathers took this fishing thing so serious, they hid out in a fishing club. Just tell that story one last time, Michael, and we're going to get off the air.
All right. Well, back in 1732, along the shores of the Schuylkill River, where Philadelphia sits now, our forefathers, Benjamin Franklin, George Washington, Patrick Henry, I mean, you just name them, just go right down the list. They were all fishermen, and they were fed up with the crap that was coming our way through England and being under the king's thumb. And they started talking about declaring independence from Great Britain. And had they been caught in these secret meetings, they were meeting under the guise of a fishing club. Had they been caught, they would have been hung for treason. So these guys were risking their lives to figure out a way to declare the Declaration of Independence from Great Britain. And it was all written by fishermen. The Constitution of the United States and the Declaration of Independence were written by fishermen hiding out in a little club called the Schuylkill Fishing Club, which is still in existence. It still stands. It's still operation today. It's the longest running, continually operating social club, not just a fishing club, but of any social club in the English-speaking language. And we're seeing, like David just said, we're seeing a 250-year rebirth of what those people, those men, risked their life. John Hancock said he signed his name so big on the Declaration of Independence because he knew he was signing his death warrant. And he wanted everybody to know that he was willing to risk his life to sign that Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. And it just gives me chills that fishing is so much a part of the DNA of American culture. And we've gotten so far away from it with the modern technologies and the social media and the phones. It's so important, Dave. You said this every week. If you ask what you can do to help support the fishery, take a kid fishing. Period. That's all you have to do. Take a kid fishing. Let them see the joys of what can happen at the end of a line. And you will help support this industry for generations to come. Simple as that.
And Michael, thank you so much for your time every Tuesday. You bring a lot of good stuff to the show every Tuesday. I appreciate your presence on the show. And everybody else that watched today, thank you all very, very much. And I didn't put this out on social media or anything, but 2018, today is the day that I married my best friend. So today's a very special day.
Today's your anniversary.
Yes, it is. And Todd Manser married us.
Oh, that's so cool. He's the best. Somebody posted earlier about if you need good service, call Todd for Marine Work.
Oh, yeah, he's the best. And he's married Kelly and I. And thank you very much, Todd. Thank you, Michael. And I'm going to go hang out with my best friend for the rest of the day and see if I can't piss her off.
Give that Kelly girl a hug for me.
You got it. Everybody, thank you for watching our show today. Thanks for all the kind words. And you guys just witnessed history. You don't know it right now, but share this with your friends and family because this is a big time change of sport fishing in Southern California. All right. See you all tomorrow.
Take care.